Hi everyone, my name is AVIIX, and just like everyone in this room, I have a passion and I have a purpose. Ever since I was younger, I've been passionate about fashion. I love sketching designs. One of my favorite movies was the Devil Wears Prada movie, and I always argued with my mom about what I was going to wear each day. I fell in love with fashion at an early age because it was a way I could express myself, and even my mom wasn't going to tell me how to do that. As I've gotten older and experienced a lot more things, I've found that my purpose is to make a difference the best way I can and impact the lives of others from my own experiences. With that being said, when I see this number, I want to make it better, not bigger. An estimated amount of 1 billion items of clothing are produced each year, and a lot of it is unsustainable, this making the fashion industry one of the largest polluters in the world. These are my competitors. On the right, you see fast fashion, listed as H&M, Shein, and Zara. Not limited to. What is fast fashion? It's many of the brands that I've named and other ones producing inexpensive clothing at rapid rates to keep up with the latest trends. While doing customer discovery, the more I talk to women and younger girls, they say they've shopped at Shein before and they only were able to wear their items maybe once or twice. They think it's really bad, and by the end, they would support a brand that I'm planning to create. On the left is the sustainable competitors, which I'll talk more about in a little bit, but they only reach a certain market. So recently I spent some time at Carter Closet thrift store in Iowa City, where I was able to see the whole donation process, specifically clothing. So many of this fast fashion clothing are ending up in secondhand stores. And what people don't know is a lot of it can be put back on the floor. So they put them in what's pictured here is 1,000-pound bales, which are then sold to salvage buyers, who then send them to recovering countries like Haiti and sell them and put them in a smaller market. This is not completely getting rid of the clothing, and it's also costing more resources and hurting the environment even more. This is why I want to use organic hemp for my brand. The difference between hemp is and marijuana is it's 0.3 THC and it's legal. I've actually experienced negative things, seeing negative impacts hemp has had on other people, which is why I want to use it to break that stigma and support local businesses. Hemp is one of the most sustainable plants. It actually requires less water and actually 87% less water than cotton. It's one of the strongest natural fibers and prevents bacteria and bodily odor, and it's also really soft for the skin. It's lastly, it's 100% biodegradable, meaning it leaves no impact in the decomposition process. On the left is my sustainable competitors again, and when you see them, looks versatile, interchangeable, but also plain. This is why I want to create a fashion brand called AVIIX that looks similar to this, where I incorporate a capsule wardrobe vibe and maximize the amount of outfits that can be created. Over the next 90 days, I plan to do more customer discovery, so if any of you guys know some young women I could talk to or anyone in the fashion industry, that would help a lot. Building a better platform, getting out of my comfort zone on social media. I like taking pictures and dressing up, so doing that more, spreading awareness and making people shop smarter. And then product development, so as you can see, I'm going from the idea stage to an actual business, so I want to bring my business to light. And lastly, more research. Thank you.
You made any connections yet for actually producing your clothing once you get to that stage?
I have not. That is what I'm working on right now. But I'm kind of thinking of partnering up with other brands maybe and figuring out how they do it. But right now I'm also focusing on talking to hemp processing people and seeing if that really is a sustainable way to go.
How about for distribution? Any partnerships with retailers?
So as far as that, I'm probably going to start more smaller because I don't have the money to do big things right now. I'll probably just try to do a lot of it on my own, and like maybe I have some friends help. I know my best friend help to help me.
Are there some stores in the corridor area that sort of specialize in this type of thing?
I'm actually just had 2 interviews for retail jobs positions in this area that are really gonna help me get experience that I need to start my own brand. One is Pataya, so maybe I can work with them to do something too.
People doing like hand clothing?
Yeah, so the competitors that I listed, PAC is one, and Patagonia, but they only have done like a couple pieces. The other brands that I listed, they just don't fit the full, like, what Zara and H&M and all that, the technical thing they're producing, so that's why I would create a brand like that, and bridge that gap.
Can you talk more about your product market fit, like why your brand is needed in sustainable clothing?
Yeah, so, Shein and all those stores, people are recognizing that it's fast fashion and it's bad, but there's no other places to get clothing that fit them or express them. So that's why I was creating AVIIX. I explained it a little bit, but
Can you talk more exactly about how many people you interviewed who must have this solution? And really has to have.
So I've been recently sitting down here and talking to girls that walk by for customer discovery. And a lot of them are saying that they want to shop more sustainable, pretty much that they can't and they would, but I haven't done enough customer discovery. I'm working on that one.
Why can't they? Like the price or the availability?
Yeah, so price is a huge factor. When I am interviewing these girls, they're like, "Oh yeah, I would," but they do say that they would support a small business like mine, but that's only to scale and get bigger. So they say price, and then a lot of struggles that people are having is sizing and stuff like that. But I don't think that really is what I'm getting to.
A lot of sustainable brands, just like Lou said, they kind of have that like universal look to them instead of it being so like differentiated like yours are.
Yeah.
So would you say that's one of the greatest advantages we have?
That's definitely what is like my unique value proposition. Besides what materials I'm using to make my clothing is the designs. The picture I showed is definitely more trendier, but I plan to incorporate like more neutral, solid pieces that people can keep for seasons and wear multiple times and interchange them. Yes.
So Zara and Shein and stuff like they're and H&M especially like their whole thing is that they're cheaper, right? And so in hemp, from my understanding, it's quite expensive. Do you have any other alternative products that you can use, like materials, if hemp isn't going to work out because of the cost?
Yeah, I'm looking to figure out. So yeah, it seems expensive. I think like it costs more money because it's better quality. But I'm hoping that I can figure out a way to produce it and not have to make my customers pay so much. If not, maybe I would just be reaching a more expensive audience and do it that way. I haven't looked into other materials that I could use because I'm still like doing a lot of research. But yeah, I maybe switch just doing more expensive prices.
Which people have you spoken to have actually purchased the hemp clothing product?
I haven't asked any questions about if they purchased them before, but I've asked how do they feel about it, and they're like, awesome, like that sounds amazing.
But none of these people have actually purchased or made or.
This may be a dumb question, but I was struck by the point you raised about old clothes and where they go. Can hemp clothing be sort of recycled and decomposed and
Yeah.
recomposed?
It's 100% like it can be decomposed and it leaves no impact. It's biodegradable. Yeah, so that would help a lot in the whole sustainability part of it, because sustainability and eco-friendly, which is something I researched, are kind of two different things. Sustainable is all around. Another thing I want to incorporate in my business is not like trafficking workers that some of these brands do. I watched a whole documentary about that, and it means from being sustainable from the beginning to the end when making your product and selling it.
So can it be reduced to raw material that could be reused to make new clothes?
That's what I'm doing more research in right now. I've just thought of incorporating hemp like a couple weeks, like the last week or 2 weeks ago. I'm excited to look into that. And I hope it is.
So it seems like the fast fashion stuff is cheap and it's trendy. And then you've got the sustainable stuff that's more expensive and kind of higher end. So you're thinking more of higher end but trendy? That's kind of, I feel like maybe that's the direction you're going, or am I wrong?
So there is a market out there like Skims.
Mhm.
And I have to do more customer discovery and research to really know this, so I'm assuming.
Sure.
But there is that market, and people are shopping at Zara, which Zara's not that cheap, and a lot of girls shop there. So if I were to have a little bit of pricier to be able to use hemp, I think that would work out.
So it's a matter of finding that niche of,
Yeah,
not looking like, plain, like you had the the sustainable stuff, but it's plain, but then you have the fast fashion, it's really good. So it's like figuring out how you bridge that gap.
exactly.
Being trendy, but also sustainable. It'll be interesting to see, and then what that price point would be, kind of where you would fit in that.
And that's why I've been asking women how they feel about the brands and if they would support a sustainable brand. They've all been like, oh my gosh, yeah. And they say they never want to shop at Shein again, but where else are they going to shop? Even me, I've been bad in the past about it. I'm trying to completely change that.
Sure.
But I have nowhere to shop. That's that much better.
Sure.
Yeah. You said something about capsule wardrobes. Could you talk a little bit more about the cost effectiveness of having a product like that in a capsule wardrobe that they can work?
Yeah, so basically what is a capsule wardrobe? That's getting more statement pieces and not just trendier pieces, which I plan to like hopefully spread awareness on girls who don't know. But I used to just get trendy pieces and you only wear those a couple times. So getting more quality, expensive product like from AVIIX on the hemp material, it would last longer in your wardrobe. That's than just getting a fast fashion piece that's low quality and it may look like a statement piece, but by the time you wear it like multiple times, it's gonna like wash it and stuff. Which also our research said hemp, when you wash the materials, it stays the same, and the more times you wear hemp clothing, it softens the skin.
How does it do with like water wicking and the heat? Is that pretty good for that?
I'm not sure.
That's kind of a big thing now, right?
Yeah, like as far as
Moisture wicking, stuff like that.
yeah, as far as like growing it and stuff, or like wearing it in
Wearing
clothing.
it, like keeping you cool.
Oh yes, I did read that it helps keep you warmer in the summer or in the winter time. And then like one of its qualities is it helps with bodily odor. So I'm guessing like that's a benefit in the summertime when you're hot and sweaty and stuff. But I could definitely look more into that too.
Yeah.
Any other questions? Okay, well, what can we as a community do?
Hi. Could you tell us, like, what is your experience besides being sort of an influencer in the fashion industry? That we would, like, what sort of experience do you have that would say we would trust you to make these clothing or you have partnerships or skills or credentials that you have to share?
I have worked in retail previously, and I've done some display work, setting up displays that people really liked. Other than that, I've used my platforms like Instagram and stuff to create my clothing, and I've had many girls come up to me like, I want you to style me. My friends, all my friends out of the story, they all like, my roommate just asked me, I have Justin Bieber or Chris Brown concert at the end, and they got my outfit for it, stuff like that. That's why right now I'm getting to work in a retail shop where I was told I can get styling opportunities, or like picking out products to put on the sales floor, doing displays and stuff like that. And then I plan to take some fashion classes in the fall to help get more experience.
Have you ever thought about like doing a program where you can take back what you've sold. So like there's the Patagonia, like where they resell like used clothing. Have you ever thought about doing that?
Yeah, I would really like doing either that or another sustainable idea is figuring out a reasonable way to track how many times people are wearing my pieces and giving them like discounts and rewards program to do that, but that's not it.
I know some brands will do something like that, but it's like, wear this dress for 100 days in a row, and we'll give you $100 or whatever.
Yeah.
So I think you could do kind of a fun social media type thing along those lines.
And breaking the whole stigma on girls only being able to wear something once, even for men too, like social media. If I post a picture, which I won't, but I post a picture in something twice a month. So that's annoying, but
Yeah, I will say, I do think this is a big problem. Like, I know for myself, I might, maybe not looking for quite as trendy as like what you would wear. That's just not my vibe, but I am looking for more stylish, sustainable options, like specifically around merino wool, or I've never really looked into hemp, but now I'm kind of curious about that. So I definitely think it's a problem. I agree with that.
hemp was actually used in, I think it said 8,000 BC or whatever in China is when it started. So it's like making a comeback, and that's why I want to do it now. Like get out there to wherever I'm to and recreate my whole unique.
Well, this is probably last question.
What do you think will be your biggest challenge in the next 2 years to jump
Challenge in the next 2 years
for you?
for me. I think my biggest challenge is I want to get this business going as soon as possible because of my dreams. And after college, I don't want to work for anyone else. So I feel like figuring out how to make this my main-time job soon would be my biggest challenge. But I'm understanding that that may not happen for a couple of years. That's me be like a longer journey the next year.
What do you define as a starting point?
What do I define as
What do you define as a starting point? You said you want to get
a starting point? So product development, like I said, that is kind of what I plan to do over the next 90 days. I need to research more about hemp. I to see if it will work, but I'm really like interested and passionate about that idea too. So sketching my designs and getting the website running and stuff, I think that's a start. And talking to more women.
Do you have designers in mind yet?
Actually, India. I was talking about having her sketch some of my pieces if she had free time, but no, I haven't yet.
Awesome. Okay, last question. What can we as a community do for you?
As a community, if you guys know any women that I could talk to, or also helping me, like if you know anyone that's good at art and can help me put my products to the vision, that